The Queen's parents, Albert, Duke of York, and his new bride, Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, lived at White Lodge after their marriage in 1923. The grand staircase leading from the salon to the garden was installed in preparation for their residency, which has since become a distinctive feature of the building. It was Queen Mary, mother of the future King George VI, who suggested that her son and his wife should make White Lodge their first home, as it was a place that held many happy childhood memories for her. Her fondness for White Lodge is expressed in an extract from her diary. At 12:45, we returned to White Lodge to luncheon with Bertie and Elizabeth. We went all over the house, which they have made very nice. When the Queen was born in 1926, White Lodge was given as her parents' main place of residence. And there's a wonderful photograph in the royal collections which shows baby Queen Elizabeth as a little infant sitting on her mother's lap right on these stairs behind me here. It's quite extraordinary. In 1927, the Queen's parents actually moved to a new address at 145 in Piccadilly, London. In 1954, White Lodge was acquired for the students of the Royal Ballet School up to the age of 16. Work was done in the building over 2 years, and by 1956 the salon was transformed into a dance studio and the former stables were turned into academic classrooms, which they still are today. Creating a fully residential vocational ballet school at White Lodge meant that for the first time the school could truly attract dancers and nurture and train them to the highest standard based on their potential, regardless of geographical location, academic ability, or personal circumstances. In 1956, the school and its affiliated companies were awarded a royal charter by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Our founder, Dame Nanette de Valois, wanted to secure the essential unity between the two companies and the school and strengthen their triangular relationship. The Royal Ballet School, the Royal Ballet, and the Sadler's Wells Royal Ballet, later renamed Birmingham Royal Ballet, following its move there in 1990, were established as a threefold institution. In December 1956, with the Queen's sister Princess Margaret as its president. Princess Margaret was a lifelong lover of ballet, and she had a strong relationship with both the Royal Ballet School and the companies. She visited the school on many occasions for many different events. In 1951, she officially opened the premises at Barons Court, the old upper school buildings. And then in 1957, she visited right here to open this studio, the Anna Pavlova studio. She also visited in 1990 again to open officially the Margot Fonteyn Theatre, which you can see right behind me through this beautiful window. As our patron, the Queen has often been involved in events at the school. In 2003, she presided over the official opening of the upper school in Covent Garden. The new premises in Floral Street are connected with the Royal Opera House through the Bridge of Aspiration, thus fulfilling Dame Nanette de Valois' dream to have the school and the Royal Ballet Company side by side in London. Students from the school performed for Her Majesty in a special marquee at the Diamond Jubilee Wildlife event in Richmond Park in 2012. Both the Queen and Prince Philip visited the park despite the heavy rain and hail on the day. A commemorative Diamond Jubilee pond was installed, created in the Queen's honour by the Friends of Richmond Park. White Lodge Museum presented a programme of public events for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. Several exhibitions and tours were launched that celebrated the royal history of White Lodge. A Jubilee Open Day was also held where visitors were able to enjoy picnics in the gardens and access the boudoir, which was the late Queen Mother's favourite room when she and her husband, the future King George VI, lived at White Lodge. In 2016, 12 staff from the school were invited to a patrons' lunch street party to celebrate the Queen's 90th birthday. Representatives of all 600 of the Queen's charities gathered at this event, which took place down the Mall to Buckingham Palace. Younger members of the royal family came out to greet attendees, and the Queen and Prince Philip drove by in an open-top car. I personally attended the lunch, and it was a real pleasure to see her, Her Majesty smiling broadly and sailing by in glorious fuchsia pink. During her speech, the Queen then thanked us all for our birthday wishes, but admitted that if people were still singing happy birthday to her by December, she might feel rather differently about the whole thing. We had an unforgettable day and all felt very privileged to be there, both as representatives of the Royal Ballet School and as participants in a very special moment in British history. More recently, our students performed at the Platinum Party at the Palace, one of many events held to celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. At its peak, the broadcast had more than 13 million viewers and included performances from Queen, Diana Ross, Rod Stewart, and even an appearance from Paddington Bear. Our students performed alongside alumni and Royal Ballet principals, Lauren Cuthbertson and Rhys Clark, in a piece set to Hans Zimmer's Planet Earth Suite 2. The segment was based on the importance of nature and sustainability, choreographed by our alumna, Kristen McNally. Both our students and alumni did us very proud and will probably remember this remarkable experience forever.